Every single Saturday night, we always like to take stock of what the new college football what the new college football rankings are going to look like. And that is especially important as we have the college football playoff rankings that will begin getting released on Tuesday night. So, as we look at the new top 25 after week 10, not a lot of shakeups at the top. You will remember number 3, Texas A&M. They were off this week. Number 4, Alabama. They were off this week. Georgia gets it done. Of course, they hang on. They survive. We are projecting they stay at number 5. You throw that in with Oregon being off, Ole Miss getting it done against South Carolina, BYU being off. Not seeing a lot of changes at the top. However, where do you think the Texas Longhorns will land in a reshuffled top 25 after the Longhorns got, by a definition, their second top 10 win of the season?
Outside the top 10 still, because they were 20th?
Yep.
13, 12.
I've got them 11, but this is where Oklahoma beats Tennessee. Texas has the head-to-head win against Oklahoma. Rising tide, all boats, and AP voters should have no trouble to get them up to 11 and 12, which is where I have Texas and Oklahoma. They have to have the gumption to move them ahead of Virginia, Louisville, and Miami. I think they will. I don't think that's a hard ask for AP voters.
No, probably not.
Okay.
They could make the not wrong, just early claims on their number 1 ranking at the preseason.
For Vanderbilt's tumble, I do believe they'll take a step back after taking their second loss of the season. Do you have any thoughts on where the Commodores should land?
For losing by 3 points on the road to a top 11 team?
Yeah, I mean,
shouldn't fall that far.
This will be an interesting test. Like, do they get the SEC benefit of the doubt that these other SEC brand names get?
I think they land at Missouri. They have a head-to-head win against Missouri. They both got 2 losses. But to your point, Bud, are they going to be ahead of those ACC teams or behind them? That'll be interesting.
Very. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm actually real curious about this.
I've got them.
You have Iowa getting in after their bye week, like you did USC last week. Were you impressed with their practice this week?
Hey, did USC get in?
They did, and because you put them in. And again, half the voters just Google top 25, go to CBS Sports, see what Chip wrote is going to be the poll, and be like, all right, that'll just be my poll.
Do you know who holds that spot right now? Washington.
Great week of practice.
Great week of practice. And then I don't know what should we do right now. Let's see. What's our Utah-Cincinnati score live?
So Dampier threw a really bad pick, and Cincinnati did nothing with it. They had to punt.
It's 24-14, 6 minutes left in the third.
We think
Utah at midfield.
Sorsby has like the most Sorsby line of all time, by the way. 9 of 24 for 201.
Hell yeah, Brendan.
Let's go, Brendan. Keep being you.
Let's slow down on the points, though, boys.
Mm-hmm.
No more than, let's see, 38. No more than 17 more, please.
I did not have a lot of confidence leaving Tennessee inside the top 25 as we are talking right here at 12:52 a.m. Eastern time. I will admit some of that was just all the pieces that were moving, where games are still going on. We're trying to get the podcast going. And you don't have great options to look at last week's balloting of the AP voters. Navy finished 26th. They lost to North Texas. Tulane finished 27th. They lost to UTSA.
Are they the only 3-loss team you have in?
Yeah, and that's what I said in the blurb. I was like, we have not had a 3-loss team in the rankings yet, but
if we do, it'll be an SEC team.
I said, but Tennessee has a chance to have that, quote, honor after falling to Oklahoma on Saturday night. I think Iowa would have a case, South Florida, San Diego State. all of them could be likely candidates, but I could see voters, again, as my projection of voters' behavior, I could see voters just choosing to keep Tennessee in.
I think they'll stay in because the power rating voters will have them still in the top 15 to 20-ish.
And we have identified them at this point through polls.
And I think that will carry them over a couple other teams who maybe from the I love what you're doing voter pile will overpower them.
Quality loss looking team.
Where'd you have Notre Dame at? Because that was like a pretty lackluster performance from the Irish today.
So there was a huge gap between Notre Dame and BYU in voting points last week. But with the other teams losing, they could not change their order and still move up. If Texas Tech being ahead of Notre Dame, I could understand. I don't think Texas will jump Notre Dame. So that means they're probably at 10 or 9.
I mean, it happens. They just were not very impressive at all today.
Yeah. I mean, look ahead spot to Navy. Yeah. Are you going to prep for Boston College? Or are you going to prep for Navy?
Fair enough point, honestly.
Yeah, I am 30% kidding with that one.
Navy was kind of like the UVA of the American, by the way.
Mm-hmm. What with all the luck box wins?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we'll see. Again, feel free to go. Actually, don't feel free. You should go and check out the full Tomorrow's Top 25.
Feel obligated.
Feel obligated. Please feel obligated to go to cbssports.com and go check out our projection for what the new AP Top 25 poll is going to look like. Where would y'all put in UVA? Where would I put UVA? I would punish UVA a little bit more for the way that things went at Cal. I did not think it was very impressive to watch the game unfold. However, it ends up being a decent final score. They're 8-1, for the first time since 1990, 7 wins in a row for the first time since 2007. I think Virginia lands at 13.
Also, Virginia's loss looks better now that NC State beat Tech. Florida State won, Louisville won, Carolina won. So some other wins look slightly better.
Yeah. But again, a lot of ball left to play in the ACC, a league that has taken a little bit of hit with 2 top 10 teams losing here in week 10. We will be back maybe on Sunday. We'll see.